Hi, welcome to an Easy Trader Update. This is Kim speaking as we approach Thursday the 6th of June. By the time you get this, it certainly will be Thursday the 6th of June. Okay, a couple of things. Just a reminder, on our website each week we just pop in a little thought for the week on there, just for those that like the little comments there. But more importantly, this week is our webinar on Thursday, next Thursday. If you just click on the link there or click on the webinar link at the top of the page, there's a link up, a little section up here. If you click on this, it will take you through and you can sign up. It's on Thursday the 13th of June at 7:15 British Summer Time. We expect it to last for just an hour, so it's 7:15 to 8:15. Plenty of time to go down the pub afterwards, or walk the dog, of course. Just click on the link here to our webinar software, go to meeting, and just register and ensure you get a space. So that's next week. We'll be looking at some long-term investment themes, etc., and some other stuff to come in there as well. But as I say, we will keep them. We decided we will keep them, particularly during the summer session, particularly short and sweet. Right. Okay. Let's just go and have a look at the calendar. And look at, I've entitled this is this green moss or green shoots. I think it may be the former. As we're seeing some of the figures coming out this week, it's always good at the first week of the month. We see a lot of data coming out. We have lots of key figures and certainly some fireworks at times. Now we started off with the green moss. Really, we're seeing when traders are looking at the numbers coming out, they print them green when they're above expectation. But it doesn't mean to say they're necessarily any good. It just means they're above expectation. What we're seeing here, particularly on Monday, I'm looking at the French and German manufacturing figures that came out, and yep, they're green, but they're still contracting. They're still not getting above that key 50% level. So the German figure obviously and the major weighting on the European figure, which eventually came out at 48.3, so still in the contraction zone, which is not good for the UK either, particularly. However, it has, we've seen for the pound, we've seen manufacturing PMI, it not only came in above the 50% on the growth side, it's also 51.3 as a positive surprise, so quite a nice move from that just generated. US struggling a little bit, is keeping just on the manufacturing point of view in line, but the actual proper main index fell down, came in below, so another sign of contraction here. So the main index wasn't at all flattering. June 4th, we saw that retail sales monitor coming in positive for the UK, but moving on through the day, more important figure there was the construction PMI. We still are. We needed a boost here, and we certainly got it. It just came in above in terms of the growth side of things as well here. So positive and growing. So little green shoots. I might be too tempted to say, but I don't like the fact that the European figures aren't really growing with it. As we moved on to Wednesday, as it was today, as it is for me at the moment. The services figures come out, the PMI services figures came out, the French and German figures. German came in particularly disappointing there. I mean, both of them are still in the contraction zone. So whilst it is in line, the French figures 44.3, so as good as negative because it's contracting still, and the German figures at 49.7, a negative surprise, and still negative. Fortunately, UK services, which is a large part of our GDP, came in not only above the 50, so it's growing, but also as a positive surprise. So some green shoots maybe, as I said. Then we've seen the US non-farms come out. The ADP non-farm figures sometimes gives a rough guide of what we may see on Friday. It certainly starts the markets giving the jitters. Lovely trade came out of this for us in the trading room, but figures came out disappointing for the US, that is. Dropping short of the job growth that is expected at only 135 versus 165. So all in all, what we're seeing here, as I say, in the main, it's more mossy than anything else. There are some signs amongst it, but we've got some key figures coming out as we look forward to the next 2 days. We've got the interest rate decisions, but more, I mean, the Bank of England interest rate decision is probably it'd be a shock as much as anything else if anything was done with the interest rate or the quantitative easing. I would imagine that would just be left as is. But it's normally the ECB press conference that creates the biggest stir, coming in just after 1:30. So certainly that'll be the interest rate decision unlikely to be changed. It was changed recently, so unlikely to be changed for the European Central Bank. So that's where we stand there. As we move through then into Friday, of course it's a non-farm payrolls day, and that's really the significant numbers that will come out in the unemployment rate. So that's really what will be looked at. It is in German industrial production. Yes, that might create a bit of a stir in the morning on Friday, but generally the biggest and the most important figure really we will be looking forward to is the 1:30 figure, the non-farm payrolls. So that's how, as it stands in terms of the figures and what it's looking from a fundamental point of view. The figures are really reflected in this lacking of any real growth in terms of the strength of the euro dollar here, the euro against the dollar. Very subdued price action, and the range is relatively small compared to previous days. One thing we have done for the euro though is managed to break this descending channel trend line here, and it's sitting in this ascending channel, which is looking a little bit more buoyant at the moment. Had a few taps. You've got a series of higher highs in the main sort of picture of things there. So at the moment, still looking relatively bullish, not looking, or I say bullish to neutral in the sort of 4-hour time as such. But there's still the potential here. But any further tests of this ascending channel to the downside, well, we could see a bigger correction. But as I say, on a daily point of view, with this break of this level here, a few good results, we could see a bit more of a rally going on there. Cable, it's been punching quite well. Positive figures yesterday actually. It came out pretty well. Actually, the previous day looked quite tame compared to that, but certainly Monday with the figures came out and pushed up higher, and as I say, Wednesday pushed up a decent amount. We're now pulled up a 61 retrace here, just around about the 61% point of view. But it would look like we may even go back towards the sort of May highs here. A push up at the moment, although not necessarily all in one step. But looking at it from a 4-hourly perspective, and you can see we're in this sort of quite tight ascending channel. Now, it looked like I had drawn this on slightly different, and it looked like it was trying to break out the bottom here. I've redrawn it with the new data in, and well, it's been pretty strong up here, but I would expect some sort of retracement, even if it's going to continue. It may want to come back and test this sort of level again. One thing to bear in mind is it is getting quite overbought, so another reason why we may see a test of the lower trend here. Looking at the yen, been gaining some strength against the dollar overall. Let's just bring it to the daily, and we're now back towards this 50 MA again here. If we've tested it before, so it's sort of bouncing along on it. If it can't hold, well, we could well see ourselves heading back towards that 100 MA as the dollar weakens slightly against the yen. No signs of oversold at the moment. 4-hourly perspective, nearing a divergency, sort of a potential divergence may pop in here, but clear signs of lower highs, lower lows as it's running through here. But as I say, may get a bit of divergence. Wouldn't be surprised if we see some sort of bounce. As we pulled off quite some way, but it would be decent to see a decent break beyond this 50 MA. It has held things for probably a tad too long in the sense you just want a nice clean move. Euro yen, bit more stifled in this movement, which is no surprise as the euro's hardly been sort of punching above its weight, if you like. It's been quite steady, quite slow in terms of movements, particularly against the dollar there. And it's really reflected here. It's not really got back to its 50 MA here. a move to that, because it would be first touch. It's all pointing south, pointing upwards, northward. We could get a bounce come off that. It's not oversold in any frame of mind here. Very choppy, really, on this sort of 4-hourly point of view. But I mean, it has been put in a series of lower lows, lower highs, and lower lows. Again, well, here we may get a fractional divergence if it comes back a bit lower, but all set out for a potential bounce there. Now, it would be nice if it just a nice clean move down to that 50 to give us a bounce. I'd certainly prefer that. Anyway, there we go. So there's an update of where we are in terms of fundamental lookout. Certainly we should see some action over the next couple of days with all the key figures coming out. Wish you good luck with your trading. Bye for now.